Yo, what is up? How you feeling? How you coming? What's the word? It's your host 700 Green, and I appreciate you for coming to kick it with me on the Overthinking podcast, man. For a second, I almost forgot my intro, man. How y'all feeling, man? What's the word, man? I know it's been like it's almost been like 2 weeks since I've been on the net, man. I don't know. I just had to get myself together. Everybody got to take a step back from the fake world to really understand what's going on in the real world. But I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. If I may take a break, but I never disappeared. You know what I'm saying? But check it out, Ep.8. I like this one. I know I said that about a lot of them, but this one gonna be decent. Ep.8 is titled "Recognize the War," or should I say, "Recognize the Warfare"? I like that better. My bad. Recognize the warfare. Okay, boom. Y'all know when I speak about certain topics is either what I seen or been through or heard about. So it's all facts at the end of the day. Recognize the warfare. And what I mean by recognize the warfare is like, man, understand what's going on around you. Understand that the battles that you are fighting are A, not your own, and B, what you're up against. Because if you don't know what you're fighting, it ain't no fight. It's just you getting dominated by whatever you're going through. So recognize the warfare. Little testimony, or a little, I'm gonna call it a testimony. A little testimony of mine. This just happened. Today's Sunday. This just happened. I want to say either Friday or Saturday. Yeah, bro. Happened yesterday or Friday. So boom, right? I work. Y'all know I'm security. So I'm at the job, right? And a female that I'm really ain't supposed to be dealing with. We ain't gonna speak we don't speak bad about women, and we not gonna speak bad about her. But I know on a spiritual level, I ain't supposed to be rocking with her. And she came to my job and gave me a little pop-up visit. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever the case may be, gave me a pop-up visit right before I was finna get off. I was finna get off at 10 o'clock p.m. and she popped up around like 9:30, 9:45, time frame. So she popped up. We spoke for about like 3, 4, 5 minutes. And I don't have a car right now. I just lost my vehicle. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But yeah, so I was gonna take the bus home. I don't live that far from my job, and it was a nice day. So, why not get the exercise or whatever or case may be. So I'm finna get off work in about like 25 minutes. She pop up, we talking. It clicked in my mind to ask her for a ride. So I'm like, let me get a ride. She playing like she didn't want to give me a ride. You know how females be, want to play hard to get. So she was like, no, I ain't giving you no ride, and left. So right before she left, I was like, you better be waiting upstairs for me before before you better be waiting upstairs for me when I get off, or else on some playing stuff. She smiled. So I got off work around like 9:55, clocked out at 10, on my way to clock out, on my way coming from clocking out to walk up the stairs to go upstairs to the parking lot where she at. I found a receipt on the ground. It was a Target receipt. Mind you, I do not work at Target. So a Target receipt, I'm not going to say where I work at, but I'm just going to say a random place. I don't work at this random place, but I'm just going to say a random place. Let's just say I work at Walmart. Let's say I work at Walmart and I'm leaving Walmart to go upstairs to the Walmart parking lot to go get in this girl car. And it's a Target receipt. True story. It's a Target receipt on the ground of Walmart. A little side note to this story. Like probably like 2 weeks ago, I seen on TikTok, I seen a dude. I don't know if y'all know, but y'all should know because TikTok viral. He was going around asking for people's receipts. He was going around asking for people's receipts so that he can go back in the store and act like he's returning the item that's on the receipt so he can get free money. So let's just say somebody bought a cup for $15. He would take their receipt, because people be throwing their receipts in the garbage on the ground, or he would just ask for them. I don't know if the TikTok was even real. It probably was staged, but I don't know. He would get the receipt, see that it says a cup on it for $15. He'll go back in Target or wherever the store he came from, get the item from the shelf, go to the return place, and be like, hey, I want to return this cup. Didn't use it, don't want it. Of course, he ain't use it. It's a brand new cup. He just got it off. You know what I'm saying? And he'll get $15, a free $15. So when I seen that, and that's why you gotta recognize the warfare. Don't be gullible. Don't believe everything you see on the internet, because 75 to 85% of the things you see online are completely fake or staged. Whether it's entertainment, any of that, skits, all that. So boom, I seen that. So I'm like, okay, cool. 2 weeks later, which was Friday, I seen the Target receipt. So I'm like, okay, as soon as I seen the Target receipt, and this is why you got to recognize the warfare, because the way the Target receipt was on the ground, it was like it was placed there, like the way it was placed on the ground was like the devil himself placed it on the ground. You know what I'm saying? It was folded perfectly, all that goofy stuff. So I picked up the receipt. As soon as I picked up the receipt, the video of the TikTok dude came to my mind. I unfolded the receipt. It said Target. I unfolded the receipt. It said, guess what was on the Target receipt? Uh, uh, the newest Apple iPad. And guess how much it cost? $500. That was the only thing on that receipt. So I was like, dang, I just hit a lick. Recognize the warfare. So I go straight upstairs, get in the car with the girl. The girl finna come drop me. The girl ready to go so she can drop me off at home so she can go back to doing whatever she was doing before she came to see me. I instantly was like, hey, go to Target. She was like, Target? For what? I was like, you seen that TikTok? Da-da-da-da, woo-woo. She was like, yeah. And I was like, read this. She was like, dang. Blind leading the blind. Goofy leading the goofy. So she was like, all right, let's go. So I Googled the nearest Target. All the Targets that was nearest, farthest, up, down, they all closed. Or they're closing at 10. Because I clocked out at 10. But I really clocked out like 9:56. So it wasn't really 10 yet. So all the Targets had said closing soon, 10 o'clock. So they closed in 4 minutes. Closing soon. And then one Target, out of like 30 Targets we searched up, one Target has said closing at 11, 15 minutes away. So I'm like, I bet. So I tell her, let's go. She like, no, you can't. She's not putting doubt or fear in my mind. Cause she high and drunk. I forgot to say that. She popped up at my job high and drunk. So she like, no, you can't return an item to a Target that's not bought from the same Target that the item was bought from. And I'm like, yes, you can. I even Googled it for it. And everybody knows that when you return things, you don't have to return it at the same store you got it from, as long as it's the same Target. So she was like, all right, let's go. So she ready. When I tell you I was so ready, so we drive, not even 30 seconds later, after we pulled off from making an agreement that we going to Target, bro, I felt an uncomfortable sensation. Like, have you ever felt a feeling between here and like all diaphragm? Like, it was like uncomfortable. That was God screaming. God was silently, aggressively, assertively, sternly screaming at me. And I tried to ignore it. I'm talking about ignore to the most, like I tried to ignore it, like, man, no. Because I'm overthinking. I'm like, no, I'm just scared. Let me get rid of that fear. It wasn't fear, because it was my idea. I was ready. It was God saying, bro, don't do this. And then I ignored it like twice. And then I kid you not, don't quote me, not verbatim, but around this phrase, I heard in the back of my head, it was like, if you don't, the voice either said don't do it, or don't ignore me, or if you do this, something like that. Like it's basically warning me. God basically saying don't do it. So I spoke up. I couldn't ignore it no more. I was like, man, I can't. I was like, I don't want to go no more. She was like, what happened? I'm like, no, I don't want to go no more. She was like, it's your idea. I'm like, no, I ain't trying to go no more. So we didn't go. She took me home. And and that was my testimony to let you guys know that recognize the warfare, man. The warfare in that whole situation was first of all, the love of money. Man, the love of money is the root of all evil. Don't get it twisted. We all need money because we live in this sinful world that money buys things. It don't buy happiness, but it buys freedom. It buys the ability to do what you want or need to do. So we all need money, but the love of it, if you love money, you'll do anything for it. I was willing to risk like my freedom, because if y'all know how Target is not like Walmart. Target got on-site police. They got police in the back. And then you got to think about it, bro. I'm going into Target at 10:20 p.m. They close at 11. I'm going in there to exchange an iPad. Like, come on, bro. It wasn't going to work, gang. It wasn't going to work. I was going to get locked up. And you already know if you get locked up on a Friday, you ain't seeing freedom till Monday. And you ain't seeing freedom at all if you found guilty. So recognize the warfare, man. The devil tried it. The devil mad too. I know the devil angry because, man, he was angry. He wanted me to do it, but I listened. So I'm speaking to myself and y'all out there. Recognize the warfare. Recognize what the devil is trying to tempt you with. If you struggle with lust, recognize, for my fellas out there, recognize that recognize the warfare. If all of a sudden you seeing these beautiful ladies, pretty ladies coming at you, or just popping up, spawning like a video game, recognize the warfare. You trying to be on your masculinity journey. You trying to be on your righteous journey, and you trying to kill the lust demon. All these beautiful women, recognize the warfare. For materialistics, like anything, whatever you struggle with, recognize the warfare, because everything shine in gold, and everything that's given to you that seems good is not always from God. The devil blesses people too. Remember that. The devil blesses people too, but it's not a blessing in reality. It may look like a blessing when you first see it, but like, you feel what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's a blessing that, okay, I got this receipt, I can do this exchange. No, because when God blesses, it ain't no catch. When God blesses, it ain't no strings attached. You don't really have to work for the blessing. If he want to bless you, you going to get it. But I just wanted to say that, man. And y'all know my outro, man. You ain't got to go to sleep, but you can't watch me. Always keep God first. Love yourself, because God is within us. I'll catch y'all later, man. Be smooth.